as a government, we have a deliberate plan on how to transform our nation. And no amount of court cases is going to derail our plan to change Kenya, because the plan and the transformation of Kenya has been delayed for many years by vested interest and corruption and people who do not have a plan on how to take Kenya forward.
Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. If William Ruto thought being a president is a walk in the park, then he was wrong. In fact, as we speak, William Ruto is having a rough time of his life. His relationship with the courts is deteriorating. And I think he thought that by intimidating the judges, he was going to have his way. But it seems that the judges have decided that the battle lines are drawn, and so they are going full throttle. The housing levy has been dragged in court. There's been a back and forth kind of game. Because when Okia Mutata went to the courts ruled that it was unconstitutional and very discriminatory. And then in a quick rejoinder, they said that they allowed the president to continue collecting the levy up to a period of time. It was supposed to end in 10th, and then the Attorney General went to court and there was an extension up to 26th. The country had been waiting with bated breath because today is 26th. Some of us were very skeptical about the ruling from the courts, because when Martha Koome went to meet William Ruto, we thought they signed a deal and that the courts had coiled their tail and they were not going to be guided by the Constitution, the rule of law, and the penal codes. But it seems that we still have courageous and honest judges in the country that Kenyans can rely on. Because today, the judges ruled. And they ruled in favor of Kenyans. In fact, it was breaking news that blow to the government as Court of Appeal declines to lift orders suspending housing levy. The Court of Appeal concurred and agreed with the High Court ruling that the housing levy is illegal. Now, William Ruto was really shocked because he thought he had sealed this deal. He was in Meru, by the way, when he received this shocking news, because part of the campaign was that of housing levy, that he wants to create jobs for the youths. And as he was doing that, he was told that the three members of the judges of the Court of Appeal ruled against him. He did take it lightly. In fact, he issued a warning and threats. He said that they are making laws to ensure that they will take this from the courts, and that it's like a temporary halt, but he vowed to continue with this. Take a look at William Ruto.
Mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Meru, si hawa vijana ni vijana wetu? Si tumewasomesha? Tuwapangie ajira, tusiwapangie? Housing hii mnataka iendelee ama tusimamishe? Iendelee? Wale wanasema iendelee, nione kwa mkono. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niwaambie wale watu wachache wameenda kotini kwa sababu wamezoea Kenya yenye haina mpango. I want to tell the people who have gone to court, many of them have jobs. Many of them, their children have jobs. They want to deny the opportunity for millions of young people from poor families, citizens, Kenyans, young people who have never had a chance to work. They want to deny them an opportunity. I want to tell them we are on a mission to make sure that we create equity and equality in the Republic of Kenya by avoiding every young person an opportunity to work. Tuko pamoja ama tuko pamoja? Tunaelewana? I want to say, for the avoidance of doubt, we are already making the law that the court authorized that we go and make the law. They should have given us a chance to complete the law, but we are going to complete the law, and we are going to go forward with making sure that we create opportunities for jobs for the young people of our country, because that is what the people of Kenya want. That is the right thing to do, and that is where public interest is. Tumekubaliana jameni? Tunaelewana? Tuko pamoja ama tuko pamoja? Kuna watu wananiambia wameenda kotini ati tusimamishe ajira ya hawa vijana. Na wao wako na ajira, bibi zao wako na kazi, watoto wao wako na kazi. Ni makosa kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana maskini hapa chini? Hawa wache mchezo bwana. Hii kazi itaendelea. Iendelee isiendelee? Iendelee isiendelee? Wale wanasema mpango ya housing iendelee kuzalisha ajira ya vijana. That is the message in public participation from Meru County. Tumeelewana jameni? Unajua mimi nimeambia wale watu wametupeleka kotini. Ati mimi nimewauliza, hamutaki tufanye housing, hamutaki tufanye digital jobs, hamutaki export of labor. Mpango gani mko naye? Ati mpango ile wako naye ni maandamano. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize, maandamano itapatia mtu kazi? Hiyo ni ujinga mingi sana. Ama ni ukumbavu? Ama ni yote mbili? Bure kabisa. Sijui kama tumeelewana mtuati. Tuko pamoja? So munasema nirudi hapa nipange hiyo kazi.
One would want to ask, why is William Ruto so much obsessed about the housing levy to an extent that even after it has been declared twice by the High Court and by the Court of Appeal, he still wants to continue with it? And the answer is very simple. This is a campaign tool. Wherever he goes, he campaigns with it. He says, I want to give you jobs. Remember, he promised hustlers jobs. And this is one of the things he's doing. So he knows very well that if, or now that it has been declared illegal and unconstitutional, he will lack something to campaign with. What will he tell people? Because he rushed with this, despite the fact that Kenyans were appealing to him to exercise consultative forums to know all experts can weigh in this debate. And of course, Kenyans during the public participation said no. All experts who are called upon to talk. And he knows very well that now there is nothing to campaign with. Now there is nothing to start blaming the opponents. And of course he will say that it is Uhuru Kenyatta, it is the Azimio people who have gone to court, the judges that he has termed, corrupt, and is going to say that they are the people who have stalled this. Number two, there was a lot of money that William Ruto was looking at. You see, this is money that is in a pool. You can imagine the Kenyan employees being deducted that amount, and then the employers also remit some amount. William Ruto had, he had planned with this money, and so it is going to be very difficult for him. But we want to remind William Ruto that he took oath of office and vowed to protect our constitution. Leave alone the sword that he has been using to threaten people, he was also given a constitution. But what exactly does it mean? Number one, when the president of the judiciary went to William Ruto and they had a meeting in State House against the chagrin of many, the Law Society of Kenya, the opposition, many Kenyans did not like the fact that Koome had to coil her tail to go and have a meeting in State House, because State House is controlled by William Ruto. People thought that if they had a problem, it should have been done in a neutral place. Number two, William Ruto is the one who began all this onslaught against judges, terming judges as corrupt. Yet there are mechanisms of removing corrupt judges instead of subjecting them to public lynching in the public opinions, public courts. So it seems that when Koome went to William Ruto, she went there alone. It was not a collective responsibility by all the judges. She was serving her personal interest. The judges did not approve of that meeting. She was on her own. And that is why after going there and briefing the judges of their agenda, of their conclusion, they were supposed to be added some money, these judges did not give a damn. They still ruled against William Ruto. Well, let's just say this. They ruled following the law and the Constitution of Kenya. Number two, the judges have decided that they will no longer give a damn to the threats, because William Ruto is a very cunning politician. He began all these threats to ensure that he had his way. He knew very well that the implementation of the new NHIF was in question, and the judges who ruled in his favor declared some clauses very unconstitutional, like the one that if you've not yet paid in full, then you'll be denied government services. They rubbished it. So William Ruto thought that by threatening the judges, he was going to have his way. But the judges have realized they are not going to be intimidated anymore, because Kenyans are behind them. The opposition coalition is behind them. The Law Society of Kenya even called for demonstrations in their favor. And with this support, they have decided no amount of threats will stop them from exercising their duty according to the laws of the land and according to the Constitution. Number three, there has been the question of independence or independent institutions. One of them has been the courts and the judiciary. The three arms of government have been given mandate by the people of Kenya. Just like the president claims that he was elected by the majority of Kenyans, the judiciary has been given a mandate by Kenyans who promulgated the new constitution, and they have a right of independence, autonomy. And the judges have decided that they are going to exercise their autonomy without being intimidated by a third party. And this is the right way. This is the way to go. Our independent institutions must be independent, not only on paper, not only on theory, but they must exercise their autonomy in a very pragmatic way, standing with the truth and honesty. And so they have decided that they are going to exercise that independence despite some hurdles that William Ruto wanted to throw. And I like it because the judiciary, parliament, places like the DPP's office, the DCI must be independent, so that as they discharge their duties, they must understand the calling in those offices. Now, the biggest test that is awaiting William Ruto is one. He has vowed to continue with this despite the court's ruling against it. People are waiting to see whether William Ruto is going against the rulings of the court or he is going to obey. Remember, one of the things that Madam Koome reported was that they had agreed that every Kenyan, all the arms of government, every independent institution must respect each other and they must obey court orders. Now the courts have ruled, they have spoken that despite the fact that Ruto really want to continue taking money from Kenyans, it is unconstitutional, and that is it. So people are waiting because this is the biggest test. If President Ruto is not going to obey our laws, is not going to obey the court rulings, then who will? That is the biggest test that Kenyans are really looking at him to see the trajectory he's taking Kenyans to. Because I remember Martha Koome said that if William Ruto is not careful, he's taking Kenyans to the direction of anarchy. So William Ruto is standing in the middle of a path where his decision is either going to make or break Kenya. If he decides to obey the law, well and good. If he decides to disobey the law, then it is a banana republic. The president has shown people that we are not supposed to obey the law. Wherever William Ruto is, he will regret trying to threaten the judges. Madam Koome must know that she's alone in this. If she decided to go and dine with William Ruto in State House, the judges have decided to exercise their independence. The housing levy is unconstitutional. Let the government start returning the money that they have collected. That is another big tussle. I don't know whether they are going to give back that money. Already in Parliament, they control the majority, and they want to amend the laws to ensure, the Employment Act, to ensure that they forcefully bring back the housing levy. But people will still go to court.